Everyone, and welcome to KREM News at Noon. I'm Laura Papetti. It is good to see you this afternoon. We'll talk more about the hurricane in just a moment, but first we do want to get updated on our local weather and see what's happening with meteorologist Thomas Patrick.
Yeah, good afternoon, Laura. I know it's going to be another beautiful day today, and if you've loved yesterday or the day before, in which both days were in the 70s, well, today is going to replicate that yet again. In fact, today is likely going to be our warmest day of this week with our current temperatures already in the mid to upper 60s across the inland northwest with nothing but blue skies and sunshine overhead. Maybe a little bit of cloud cover might try to move in late on today, but that is not going to stop. Just kind of that leftover summer heat across the region. There's the expected high temperatures at 77 today. That would be 4 degrees warmer than it was yesterday. However, there will be a cold front that passes through tonight. As you see it just barely hitting the tip of northwestern Washington. It hasn't even reached Seattle, but look at how some of this rainfall over the Cascades just stopped. And that is the pattern that we are expecting. Is there's really no rain that's going to cross the mountains here. So a dry forecast tonight, only a small dip in temperatures tomorrow and this week. Meanwhile, the mid-October outlook, which continues into next week's forecast, is all way above average. So we're still expecting many, many days in the 70s, which is starting to get close to 10 to 15 degrees above average, and that's not just for today. So that's our local forecast, and we'll cover the 7-day in a moment. But right now, let's turn to the latest on Hurricane Milton. So Laura, back to you.
Thomas, thank you. Hurricane Milton is now a Category 4 storm, and warnings remain dire for people in its path. The entire Florida peninsula is under some type of either watch or warning. CBS News reports now from St. Pete Beach.
Orlando residents piled on at this sandlot, filling bags to shore up their homes as Milton barrels toward Florida.
I have very expensive clothes.
78-year-old Suzanne Ferry packed up her car with what personal items she has left. The inside of her home in St. Pete Beach was destroyed in Hurricane Helene, and she barely escaped with her life.
I was sitting on the top of the fridge, across, and the fridge slipped down. Then I fell in the water, then I hold, where the sink was. I tell my son in Vegas, I told him, I'm not going to make it. I'm gone.
Now this barrier island community is in harm's way once again.
You will die here if you don't move today. You will die tomorrow. You can't survive here.
Milton battered Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula, raining down on the vacation haven. Hurricane hunters experienced heavy turbulence flying into the storm. Forecasters say the so-called dirty side, where winds are the strongest, is expected to fall over Tampa Bay.
Even if it does weaken, you're still looking at a major hurricane.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is warning residents the clock is ticking.
Use today as your day to finalize and execute the plan that is going to protect you and your family.
Another concern, debris from Hurricane Helene is still littering the streets in some parts of the state, posing a danger if it becomes airborne or if it's carried off by floodwaters. Drivers filled their tanks at this gas station, a lone structure surrounded by debris fields. The governor is assuring residents there is enough fuel, with more on the way. Cristian Benavides, CBS News, St. Pete Beach, Florida.
That's right. Those communities did get hit very hard by Hurricane Helene just 2 weeks ago, and now Milton over the last 24 to 36 hours has really erupted in intensity. As of this morning, we were watching it go through what was called an eye wall replacement cycle, where it very briefly loses some wind speed, but I mean, down from 180 to 145 miles per hour. It's still very strong. And now that eye wall has come back, as you see the eye reform over Hurricane Milton, and is once again re-strengthening as a result of that. It is a high-end Category 4, winds at 155 miles per hour. By the way, Category 5 is 157 miles per hour. So the next step up is Category 5 strength. This track has just not moved at all in the last 2 days. It is still aimed directly at Tampa Bay, and it looks like it's going to split Tampa and Sarasota one way or another, likely making landfall late Wednesday night or Thursday morning as a Category 3 storm, but still devastating impacts are going to be felt not just along the coastal communities that get the storm surge, but well inland. These are all hurricane warnings for either flooding or high winds or obviously storm surge right along the coast. So this is going to be an absolutely devastating hurricane as it makes landfall approximately 36 hours from now. Laura?
All right, Thomas, thank you. With 4 weeks to go, this year's election is certainly quickly approaching. And here in Spokane, a few important dates are coming up as well. KREM 2's Brandon T. Jones has a look at what voters need to know.
All right, for starters, those ballots are going to be starting to get mailed out tomorrow, October 9th through October 11th. So make sure you're checking those mailboxes because they should be in there very soon. I've got a couple other dates for you to remember as well. We'll go ahead and start with some of those registration deadlines. There's two important dates to remember. The first one is going to be Monday, October 28th. That'll be the deadline to receive new registrations and voter updates online and by mail. Tuesday, November 5th, that's the actual election date this year, but here in Washington, you'll have until 8 p.m. for in-person registration. Moving on, ballot drop boxes are available starting October 11th and will officially close exactly at 8 p.m. on election day. Mailed in ballots must be postmarked by election day, November 5th, 2024. And if you need a sample ballot or just want to review the candidates and different measures for this year's election, that can be found on the Spokane County Elections website. But for now, reporting here in Spokane, Brandon T. Jones, KREM 2 News.
Brandon, thank you. And with ballots going out this week, there are several debates that we want to make sure you know about. So taking a look happening today, 4 candidates will take the stage for debates at Gonzaga. First up, Senator Maria Cantwell and Dr. Raul Garcia meeting in a Senate debate. Then competitors for the 5th District Congressional seat, Michael Baumgardner and Carmela Conroy, take the stage. The event begins at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It is free to attend, but you do need to reserve a ticket through the Gonzaga Ticket Center. Also coming up next week, Up with KREM anchor Channing Curtis will be moderating the Spokane NAACP Candidate Forum and Town Hall. Al French and Molly Marshall, candidates for Spokane County Commissioner, will be facing off. Then 5th District Congressional candidate Carmela Conroy and Washington State Legislative 3rd District candidate Natasha Hill will participate in a town hall discussion. The event begins at 6 o'clock in the evening and it's all happening at the Spokane Central Library. Also later this month, KREM 2 is hosting a 5th District Congressional debate. Candidates Carmela Conroy and Michael Baumgardner will be here in the KREM 2 studio coming up Wednesday, October 30th. The hour-long debate starts at 7 that evening on KREM 2, KSKN 22, and KREM 2 Plus, and as well we'll be streaming it on KREM.com.